If you have your north node in the sign of Capricorn, or your north node is located in the 10th house of your natal chart, this reading is for you. It's really interesting because it's funny. Okay, so the cards that came out, I felt really pulled to the Green Glyphs Oracle for you. Okay, so first one was Crystal Ball, and it kind of jumped out and it came out a little bit sideways. So we'll talk about that. And then Ghost. There is something from your past that and I'm hearing not too distant past, right? Like this is fairly recent past, collective. Maybe in the past 1 to 2 years is what Spirit is telling me. Thank you. That is kind of circling back. I'm hearing circling the drain. But so I feel like you want to let it go. You want to move past it, and it's coming up. And Spirit is asking you to soften to it. So I pulled 3 cards from this deck, the Poesis deck, which I love. The first card out was Soften, which I heard when I was pulling these cards, and I was like, oh, Spirit wants them to soften. So I pulled the Soften card. Wonder how that works. Right, and then we have Birth, because something new is coming forward, something that is not at all attached to whatever this past story is. So something that I'm hearing. So, and then the other card was Feel. So something that I'm hearing about, whatever it is, and I do feel like this is something that maybe isn't right in your face at this very moment, but rather like will be coming up for you going forward in like the nearish future from when you see this reading. And we'll see how it comes out when we get into the cross in a minute here. But part of the message that I'm getting regarding this past event or past, this memory, it could be involving someone close to you or a friend, a family member, something about your past. It could even be like something that I'm hearing retribution, something that you have been seeking retribution on from your childhood. Thank you, Spirit. And you've seen it manifest in your close relationships. Thank you, Spirit. That's beautiful. The message that I'm getting is that the crystal ball, right, that you might be looking through to see that part of your past needs to be cleaned. Needs a spot of Windex, if you will. Your vision might be skewed about this thing. Or you're maybe acting. Another message that was coming through was that the way that you act based on this, or the decisions that you make, kind of following this memory arising for you, might be a little bit nearsighted. You might not find yourself, it might act as a trigger, I suppose, and so you kind of act in a way that's like you might later regret. Okay, so Spirit, this could be kind of a heads up for some of you. Spirit also did ask me to pull some charms, but did ask me to wait until I was on camera, which was kind of annoying, but we're going to go on ahead and do it. Let's see what comes out for you. Collective, North Node in Capricorn, or North Node located in the 10th house. Quite a few, which I don't love. Okay, just because it's hard for me to show you the charms. This is a little hare. This is a little rabbit. Some speed that maybe we don't love. Flamingo. This is community. Okay. The reason I say we don't love the speed is because I got this message for a collective reading earlier. The rabbit is typically a fearful energy that we see, kind of it's that dysregulation. It's that nervous system. It's that quick movement that maybe is a bit nearsighted, right? We have a little dog, really little guy. I don't know if you could really see him, but he's like a little Scotty dog. A little elephant. I don't know how to show you this one here. A little elephant. Very cute. Very cute. Very wise. Very emotionally wise. A little ghost with a G on it. An ice cream cone with 3 scoops. That always reminds me of the 3 of Cups. Right. And then a little fan. I like this fan. Very mercurial. Little fan. Okay. Thank you. All right. So let's get into the cross for you, collective. All right. Oh, okay. So for self, I have the Fool. And for what's crossing you, I have the Four of Wands, which is funny. We will dig into it. Okay, recent past, the Page of Pentacles. Near future, the Eight of Cups. What is beneath you? The Star. I love it. And what is crowning you? The Four of Cups. Okay. All right. Let's stop there. So... I mean, you recently came into a new experience where you are, there's an excitement, right? I get to learn this new thing. I get to try this new pizza, right? This is fun. This is exciting. I like new pizzas, right? What does this one taste like? I don't know. And I think that you're a little bit frustrated in the situation that I'm finding you in here, where, you have this very like excited, like kind of bold and I'm hearing the word ferocious. Like there's something that you want to explore and take the leap on, but it looks like there's an obligation. The Four of Wands is celebratory, but it's also indicative of like marriage. So with it being in the position of what is crossing you, it seems like everything is going right, but it is still maybe an obligation that you wish you didn't have at this moment. And then being at the top of your mind, we have the Four of Cups in pretty stark contrast to what is beneath you. Here we have the Star, right? So even though you're excited and following this path that you are carving out for yourself, potentially someone, the Fool is always a great way to start a reading. Even though you are very pursuant of something that is exciting for you, something that is, I'm hearing a new ambition or a new job, a new road, a new something, a new kind of study. There is this like tiredness that I'm seeing with the Four of Cups. It's like, you are pushing something away. You are frustrated about something that may or may not have to do about that Four of Wands. But in your near future, I have the Eight of Cups. So I do see you kind of making a choice to let something go, release something. Let's get a little bit more. So on your, I love this. In the internal factors, we have the Sun. That's beautiful. External factors, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Oops. Hopes and fears, we have the Six of Wands, and then ultimate outcome, we have strength. Anchoring our deck, we have the Five of Swords. Well, okay. So there is definitely I'm laughing because the only cups that I have here are cups of withdrawal, not cups of sharing, not cups of release, right? It's almost as if maybe we have a Cancer South Node or a South Node located in the fourth house, traditionally ruled by Cancer, right? Like there's something here about you not wanting to give emotionally to a situation that you're finding yourself in, right? In hopes and fears, we have the Six of Wands. What will people think of me, right? There's somebody in your life who is contributing to your success and your growth and your stability is something that I'm hearing is the Queen of Pentacles, and you feel really good overall. You feel really good. But there's something that is withdrawn here. And with strength as your outcome, I see you kind of really squeezing into a new timeline that like maybe you've resisted in the past. It could have something to do with the way that your emotions are showing up here, right? So again, like the cups, the emotions, I'm seeing you in a place of withdrawal, emotional withdrawal well, as opposed to emotional generosity or emotional vulnerability. Like there's something that you just don't really want to provide emotionally, and that's okay. But we're gonna peel it back a layer. Okay, we're gonna get a little bit deeper here, collective. Let's go. Who are you? Right. Let's get clarity on self. Queen of Cups. Okay, there's a cup. And what's crossing you is the moon. I'm hearing you don't know where to go. I'm hearing you're confused about what you want to feel, what you want to be, how you want to be seen. It's almost as if there's like an obligation that, could have something to do with this external factor of the Queen of Pentacles. It doesn't have to. It's just something to do with an obligation. It's something to do with, and it's confusing for you. It's kind of creating this like roadblock of like, it feels nebulous. Like, what do I do in this situation? It feels new. It feels like you should be happy about it, but are you? Like, you feel like you should be happy about it, but you've never really, I don't know, like you're like, I don't know, I can't really see clearly in this situation. So there's this element of kind of like wading through the fog and like waiting for it to pass and being really self-preserving. Thank you, Spirit. Like, and I think that that's why the emotions are showing up in the way that they are, because with these clarifier cards, you are someone who I can see is trying. You're trying to be vulnerable with your emotions. You're trying to peel it back. Like, you are a very emotionally vulnerable person, I think, most of the time. That's very possible, right? Let's get your recent past. We have the Queen of Wands, and your future we have Haven. Oh, well. Retreat into a safe space within with the Eight of Cups and Haven. Haven is unique to this deck, Prisma Visions, and it is the safe space within. If you use the archetypes deck, it is similar to the cave. It's, or this is how I see it. It is connected to the heart chakra, very warm and safe. It's the inner world. It's the inner home. It's the valley that we've carved out for ourselves. You know, it's our safe space. And literally next to the Eight of Cups, it's like, I'm withdrawing. Your recent past, we have the Queen of Wands. You definitely did take a leap on something, and make a decision I'm hearing in your best interest, in your highest good. Let's get what's beneath you. We have the Page of Swords, and what is above you, the Star. Bah! So, okay, well, that's interesting. Okay, so with the Star beneath you, and then the clarifying deck as placing the Star above you next to the Four of Cups with the Page of Swords next to the Star beneath you. That is so funny. Oh my God. So I see you as someone who, like, you are pushing away any kind of offerings that you might be receiving, that like anything that you find yourself kind of like objecting to, or feeling frustration that it's even being offered to you, or maybe feeling like in a kind of like entitlement, or like, I can do it myself, I don't need that, right? I don't want it, it's too much right now, right? I've got enough. But in a way that's like not really authentic, right? Just take the cup, right? Like it's good, right? It's good for you. Just take the cup. It's almost like you're doing that because you're focused, right? You're focused on what is so important to you, that Star. You're focused on what you're pursuant of. But with the Star beneath you and having the Page of Swords alongside it, it's like you feel new with that. So there's even more purpose behind there's even more purpose behind kind of compartmentalizing, maybe at this time, if that's how it's showing up for you, right? That makes sense. That makes sense. For internal factors, I have the Nine of Swords alongside the Sun. That's interesting. See, this is why we do the second clarifying deck. That's why we do this, because there's something about you telling yourself a really nice story and maybe not entirely believing it, right? There's something about, I think it has to do, I'm remembering this ghost, okay? There's something about this situation, just where you're at in life right now, that is still like kind of haunting you a little bit or keeping you up at night. But the Nine of Swords is, the beautiful thing about the Nine of Swords is that it's not really legitimized in reality, right? You're just really in your head. So while you try to keep things peachy keen and cool and pretty, and you try to radiate that outwards, you know damn well that there's something in there that's lurking and trying to get out, and you know it. And I think that this might be a contributing factor to your like emotional withdrawal, which again, I understand completely why. You might be kind of guarding your emotions or streamlining things or compartmentalizing things because you got a lot of new stuff going on, right? You have to focus. I feel like you're busy, right? You got stuff popping, right? It's popping over there, right? But you can do all of the things, right? Like, you can be emotionally vulnerable and emotionally available while still being professionally successful. You can do those two things. Those two things can be true at the same time. You can have material success and emotional success. Those two things can exist simultaneously. It's amazing. It's amazing. Let's do external factors. We have the Five of Wands. Okay, yeah. So that's interesting. Let's keep going. Okay, Ace of Cups and the Eight of Pentacles. In your outcome at the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Wands. Okay. There's definitely a lot going on for you. So with your external factors being the Queen of Pentacles and the Five of Wands, there could be something that either you're providing or is being provided to you that is creating a kind of tension. Like you either want more or people in your life want more from you and you just can't provide. You're like, bruh, like I gave you everything that I have right now, okay? Like I can't really do a whole lot more. Right? This does seem to be connected to the material. So it doesn't really feel financial, but it might have to do with like stewardship. And I'm hearing something about ownership. It could have something to do with what is being provided to a situation in terms of, I'm hearing growth. So this could be just how service is balanced and exchange is balanced in some area of your life, right? You have help, you have assistance. I'm seeing support structures, but there's something about it that is causing and it's interesting because the Five of Swords is at the bottom of the deck for your first round. So there's a part of you that is very kind of engaging with a type of competitive energy. I feel like that's kind of core to the attitude that you're carrying at this time, and you might not even realize it, and that's totally okay. It's very human, it's very in Capricorn 10th house energy is very masculine energy, and it's so that makes sense, right? But there is a softness here that you're being asked to adopt, and quite literally the card is soften. Okay. It's okay. My favorite thing to say when that card comes out is it is safe to soften. And I always encourage my collective to say that to yourself, as often as you can, right? It is safe for me to soften. It is safe to soften. It is safe to soften. Just say it. You might not believe it. I want you to say it. Okay, let's get a clarifier for self here. Heal. Ooh, I love to see it. I loved it. I'm trying not to yell because it's really late where I'm at. I love that you are actively, I love it because the Fool is this is new for me. There's just so much new energy here that I'm picking up on. It's this is new for me, and you're aware, or at least you might be aware that it's healing you in some way. If you're not aware that it's healing you, Spirit is asking you to get aware that it's healing you. Spirit is asking you to make yourself conscious of the ways in which you are healing yourself with taking this new approach to life, to work, to relationships, whatever it is. Okay. I'm just looking back over at the charms that I pulled for you. You are moving really fast and you have a lot of comfort around you, a lot of comfort. I feel like you miss something. I feel like you're missing something. You are longing for something that you once had, right? You're longing for community, or you're longing for an old friend, or you're longing for something that was once familiar. And so with this birth and all of this new energy, this new beginning, right, this full energy here in the star and all of these things, like, it's a lot of really powerful stuff that you got going on. And there's something about your past, this ghost energy that you might be longing for it. It could be a memory that triggers you, but it could also be maybe, and both might be true, that you miss something that maybe you're not seeing through the proper lens, right? If you saw it for what it truly was, as opposed to attaching a story that is convenient, then maybe you would see it as something that was really never helpful to you or aligned to you. Or maybe you just miss it because they passed on. Maybe you missed it because it served you at that time, right? It served you at that time. Why couldn't it have come with me, right? Like, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Yeah, okay. Crossing you, we have guide. That's so interesting. So it's almost like you don't know, like you're looking for guidance, but you don't know where to find it. Let's get recent past. It's like there's more, like there's less guidance available than there is just fog, right? That must be frustrating. In recent past, we have recharge. So you definitely have come through a portal that offered you a chance to reflect upon taking this new thing. But I also think that you're being asked to reflect on something. Let me get one more here. Oh, tears and expand. Okay. Recharge, tears, and expand. Yeah. So there's something about your past. There's something about your past where you did have you had to have left something behind that meant a lot for you as you were pursuant of this star energy that I'm seeing so clearly, right? This bigger, this bigger energy, this why, this forward thinking, this karmic path, this, your true north, right, may have been, redefined, and as you expanded and you found that your true north was changing, your purpose was changing, you found a new reason to do something new, right? That kind of expansion, you might be in a place where you are just, it's okay to experience grief over former versions, right? I feel like somebody needs to hear this. Hang on. Got a lot of planets in Pisces right now. You guys, please drink your water. When we grow, when we go through cycle, because, there's very little that is guaranteed in this life, but one of those things that is guaranteed is change and death and rebirth. Right? The snake eating its tail is one thing that we can always rely on as being a present force in our life. It is good to make it a practice to thank the former versions of yourself for helping you through the times that they helped you through, even though the things that they did to help you at that time might not actually be helpful anymore. It did keep you safe and help you out at one point, and that's great. And you don't need to knock yourself for those behaviors that kept you safe at that time. That's just what you had to do, right? So in looking upon your past, and I'm seeing this expand and tears and recharge, like you've had a chance to grow in ways that might have really caused some discomfort, you might have been having some growing pains, so I think that spirit is asking you and inviting you and just offering you the opportunity, right? The invitation, extending the invitation of extending gratitude to those versions of yourself that did keep you safe for so long. Yeah. Let's look into near future. Silence. What did I say about withdrawal? Let's get one more for near future. Womb. Okay. Well, it feels necessary. I feel like you have to separate yourself a little bit. What's happening in this womb space? Let's get one more. Practice. Yeah. So it's something that you will gain a lot from just by being on your own. The thing about it is, whenever I see like emotional withdrawal, it's one thing to emotionally withdraw from the people around you, but if in doing so you find yourself experiencing like what is it, like a dissociation from your emotions, then you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. If you are reflecting on things, if you're withdrawing and you're taking time to reflect and you're only feeling anger or frustration or worry or concern, then you're wasting your time. If you are emotionally withdrawing and you're experiencing things like acceptance and understanding and grief or healing or more tempered emotions than frustration or anger, then you're on the right track, right? So my constructive piece for you here, my bit of advice for you here is, what's happening in that time? What's happening in that silence? What's happening while you are detaching, while you are walking away? What are you doing? Okay, that is what I want you to be mindful of in whatever situation you may find yourself in going forward. Like it's fine to withdraw, totally fine, but be mindful of what's happening in that time. Okay, what's beneath? Flow, yeah, I love that. And crowning, please, crowning. Nurture. Desire here popping out. Let's see. Let's get one more for beneath. Struggle. And one more for crowning. We have intuition. Oh yeah, you're just vibing, man. I love that. I love it. I love it. I love that like your primary motivator right now is just vibing. Okay, hello. We had a slight interruption, but I am back. I cannot remember where we left off, so we're going to back up. I love that you are vibing and that you are like just in the, like you're in the trenches, but you're flowing with the struggle, right? And this inner battle, I can see kind of manifesting in your reality as something that might cause emotional withdrawal. But as I stated, like I want you to check in on what is happening when you are emotionally withdrawn. Okay. Yeah, I wish I could remember what exactly I was saying, but you know what? Everything happens for a reason. So we're just going to keep going. All right, let's go with this right here. We're going to start with internal. In peeling it back, we find that you are maintaining like a pleasant story, but we also find that there's something kind of deeper going on there. There's something deeper going on. Let's see if we can get some words about that. Desire, what you truly want. Yeah. And that did come out when we were taking a look at these first cards, right? You and what's crossing you. It's like with the moon here, we had this, it's like your intuition. It's like you're questioning your intuition here. It's like a part of you. It's this, yes, it's this tendency to question your feminine nature. As Capricorn 10th house energy is so masculine, you might be inclined to, like, when you do things that feel right in your heart, in your body, maybe there's a part of you that really is questioning, like, what do I really want? And that's totally natural. I'm glad that you're doing that, right? Let's get a little bit more. Okay, compassion coming out. Desire, compassion. What else? That's not it. That's this one. Okay, thank you. Chaos. You have a really hard time balancing your thoughts and your emotions. That's okay. I just like that when that chaos card came out, I got in touch with a part of you that I think that you really keep sheltered. Collective. I think that you really keep this part of yourself kind of tucked away, that there's this part of you that when you tap into it, maybe part of why that bit of advice came out about like how you are using the time that is, brought to you where you have silence. Maybe that message came out because it is incredibly chaotic, and Spirit is asking you to kind of like pay attention to that, right? And then we have embrace here. Yes, because when we oh, I love that. There's actually 2 cards here. Okay, and simplify. Oh my God, are we kidding? Embrace and simplify. Holy shit. What if it were easy? What would that look like? You did something, right? You took a leap on something new. And I feel like you took a leap on a few new things, like, you know, recently, but also like in the past, however long, right? There's probably quite a few new things in your life right now that just, you know, it might be a little jarring for you. And that might, you know, be part of why you like kind of become reclusive in your emotions. And, you know, again, the cups that were available in that first round of cards are all cups that are kind of denying or retreating, right? And despite that, you know, we find that you still have this well of emotions within you. So it's like, what if it were simple? What if you just tell yourself, like, it's really simple? And you don't have to question that either. You know, Spirit is coming through with this message of like, make it simple and ask that it be made simple, right? When your inner world is, and it feels like a bomb went off in there, right? When your inner world is wild in, okay? When your thoughts, you're having a hard time getting a hold of them. What if you just told yourself, it is simple? It can be simple. This is simple, right? And you felt your heart. You touched right here and you said, I'm making the right decisions. That's what I'm hearing. I'm making the right decisions. I'm doing the right thing, right? And you really solidified that for yourself, and you just made it plain and simple. Affirmations and mirror work would be very helpful with something like this. You followed a compass, you know, you followed your inner compass somewhere, and it led you to a new life is what I'm hearing. And so there's a part of this that's like, do you trust yourself? Do you? I think that you do. Let's get external factors. We have boundary. Somebody might be setting boundaries with you, or somebody might have an increase of boundaries. Maybe you have an increase of boundaries. Breathe. What can you do? What can you do? Let's get one more for external. Actually, I feel like it's one of these. It's this one here. No, it's this one. Yes. Okay. Wish. Seeing trigger at the bottom of the deck here. Let's keep going. For hopes and fears. Soul. Oh, that you'll be seen for your soul. Test. Yes. Okay. And then ultimate outcome. Ultimate outcome, we have mind and harvest popping out here. We'll take both of them. I'm going to get one more. It's a lot of cards. And connect. Okay, with unknown at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm hearing you might be idealizing something. You might be asking for more than what is available to you, or it could be the other way around, right? Whatever it is for you. Both could be true, right? There is something here about what you want versus what is available to be provided, okay? And that is okay if those two things are in contrast, right? This is why we take the time in reflection to create acceptance and find compromise. I feel like this is a situation wherein you might have to build a bridge and create compromise, and that's perfectly fine, right? In your hopes and fears, we have this element of success and public recognition and being celebrated, but we also have, you know, this emotional outpouring with the Ace of Cups. We have an opportunity for it to be like, you know, seen. You're seen as someone who has emotions. And then we have soul and test. It's like, well, do I want to be seen as someone who has emotion, right? Like that's hopes and fears, right? So I think that part of you is like, you want to be seen for your truth. You want a part of your soul to be seen that maybe hasn't been seen previously. But this is exactly where you also have conflict. And this also seems disconnected from the rest of your reading, which is really interesting. So I feel like you, collective, will know where that connects. And I'll just leave that for you. In your ultimate outcome, I have strength, the 8 of Pentacles, harvest, mind, and connect. Spirit is asking you to connect your emotions with your work and with your harvest, okay? Your advice here, just to sum this all up, right, is to take note of what's happening when you are emotionally withdrawing. Take note of what's going on in your mind and how it feels for you when you emotionally withdraw, when you pull back. Is it loud and noisy? Is it hard to cut through what your thoughts are bringing to the table for you? Is it full, like, what emotions are showing up? Is it anger? Is it frustration? Is it dissociation? Is it coldness? Is it fuck that, right? Or is it a level of acceptance and understanding and acknowledgement, right? Everybody's having their own experience, and I'm having my own experience, and mine is a little bit tough right now, so I'm going to try to bring some softness to that, right? Anger is a secondary emotion, collective. Anger is secondary to sadness and grief, right? And so where you might be feeling loss or grief or sadness, Spirit is asking you to just kind of touch it and just say, it's okay, right? You don't have to do a whole lot. But you're broaching on something really, really powerful. I just feel like you're broaching on something so powerful. And I'm thinking back to the charms that came out. Your life has been moving really, really fast, but you are about to get swept into a time where I just feel like things can be so good if you want them to be, right? These things that feel like a cross right now. I think that if you have a softening in your emotions, those things might not be a cross, right? Those things might not be so much of a burden to you if you're honest with yourself. But you have to do that processing first. So you have to first break through everything's great and then acknowledge I'm really tender, right? There's a soft belly under there that you want to bring some warmth to. And that only you can do that, right? Only you can nurture that part of yourself. Nobody else can do it, and you wouldn't let them if they tried, right? Maybe not right now. Maybe down the line. But first, we got to get past this hurdle of acknowledging that you're having an emotional experience, even though you're telling yourself a story, that might be contrary to that. And that's a beautiful thing, right? That's a beautiful lesson to learn. Okay. I'm so proud of you, collective. I really just want to say that. I'm so proud of you. And I want to extend so much love to you and so much healing and so much joy and so much praise. I feel like you need praise right now. If you don't have people around you who are telling you how wonderful you are, please take it from me. Okay. By the way, I don't know if I introduced myself. I have a habit of this. My name is Astrid. I'm a psychic oracle and mentor. This is The Sacred Gray. Hello. Thank you so much. If you are not currently subscribed, please subscribe. Please drop a like. Please drop a comment. Please share the video. These are free ways to support a growing channel. And I see every little bit and I appreciate it. And I love you so much. And everything is going to be okay. Okay? All right. Take care of yourself.